this is something that helps me when I'm stuck, when I'm feeling, shit, I don't want this to happen. I'm fighting this, that I take a step back and take a deep breath,
Sort of letting go and trusting that life will bring you the right solution, right?
If this is the way it is, say yes to it and just trust that something new will come out of it. One is to recognize what I can do about it. And the third is to make a habit out of it.
Yes.
Because between I know what is right and I do what is right is a difference.
Exactly.
Often our body knows better than our mind. And what helped me when I started with this yoga, that I did it even 1 minute.
Whenever the shit hits the fan,
yeah.
like something happens that you don't like,
yeah.
right? It's saying yes to it.
Yes.
And see what's the hidden gift.
Accepting ourselves and to see, yes, there is a part, when I'm talking now about my wounded part, my child that gets scared and my inner child that feels not seen. Often when the scared child feels protected, the scared child becomes the playful child. Recognizing there is this part that is scared to show itself and it might not be good enough and it's not seen, and really just accept this, yes, this is how you feel at the moment and it doesn't feel good and it's okay.
Salutare și bine ați venit la podcastul Întrebări care ne schimbă viața. Astăzi o am alături de mine pe Petra Muller Demary. Bine ai venit, Petra!
Mulțumesc, Mihaela!
În ce limbă vrei să vorbim? În română, în engleză, în germană?
Cred că limba cea mai bine pentru noi amândoi este it's English.
Ok, good.
Thank you very much.
Podcastul este în limba română, însă acum o să vorbim în limba engleză din motive obiective. Petra is a German that lives in Romania for the past 30 years. She's the leader and the founder of a coaching business and a coaching school called Solution Surfers Romania. She's also very much in love with constellations. It's something that she's developing every day more and more. Actually, we did some constellations together and I have attended the coaching school that she's leading. Now, what's intriguing about Petra, and it's unique from my perspective, is that even though she has 2 houses, one in Peștera and one in Bucharest, she loves to sleep under the stars. Regardless of the weather, Petra is outside sleeping under the stars in the nature. Petra, is it not scary to do that?
I love it. Actually, I have an outside bed in my garden in the mountains.
Really?
Yes, I have an outside bed. And I really love it because you much more experience the night. So when I'm sleeping outside, you hear, I don't sleep so deep, like when I'm going to bed in my bed and then I'm just sleeping, wake up in the morning. Because you hear the sounds of the night, you hear, when you're falling asleep, you hear the insects and in the morning you hear the birds and the rooster, which makes cuckoo-doo. And you feel the night also. It's kind of it's different. I'm waking up more several times. I'm looking at the stars. It just makes me happy.
So it's not scary?
No, it's not scary for me. I even was a couple of years ago when I had a difficult time in my life. I did something which is called a vision quest. And then you go alone. You go for a couple of days and nights. It was 4 days and 3 nights. I went into the forest. And you stay there at a certain place. And when I'm going in the dark into the forest, I'm scared. But when you are in the forest and it gets dark and you have your place where you have your safe place where you feel comfortable, it is a very beautiful experience.
Amazing.
Yes.
In which forest was it?
It was in Belgium.
In Belgium.
Yes.
Okay.
There was a lady I went to. She was guiding the whole process. We were a group of people. And but everybody was separated. We were at different places in the forest. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Petra, you know the drill with the questions. You have received them a couple of weeks ago. So we will start with the first one. What are the 3 aspects of your essence? One we covered already, the one with the nature, right?
Yes, the nature. Nature is really very important for me. And I'm so aware that I'm part of nature. We are not separate from nature. We are part of nature. And what I would say I would say I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. So I'm more than my body and my mind. I'm very much aware of that.
So Petra, I understand in theory the concept that we are spiritual beings and we are much more than our mind and our body. Can you please give me a concrete example when you had a challenging situation and this idea of being bigger than this human being helped you to have a different perspective?
Often it's actually afterwards also. It's something that grew through the experience. When I had a couple of years ago, I had a business which was related. I did assessment centers and management evaluation. And there was a fight, let's call it a short story, a fight with a partner I was working with. And in the end, I lost this business. So I was out. And that was a very painful experience because I had the feeling everything that I built was just not valued. And I was out of this. And it was really, really painful. And then I realized in the end that actually that gave me space to that what was really important for me, because I started to focus more on coaching. It gave me the space to do more coaching.
Okay.
And it was a kick in the butt that I got, which was quite painful, and I didn't like it, but it was really moving me in the right direction. That is better for me. And this is something that helps me when I'm stuck, when I'm feeling, shit, I don't want this to happen. I'm fighting this, that I take a step back and see, take a deep breath, what is just say, if you cannot avoid it anymore, if this is the way it is, say yes to it and just trust that something new will come out of it. And it is, also I had a difficult time a couple of years ago and I really felt stuck and I didn't know what to do. Should I go to the left? Should I go to the right? Left didn't feel right. Right didn't feel right. And I was, in this winter actually when it was, I was sitting, I was a program I did with somebody. I was going into the forest. I go to the forest. And we were sitting in the middle of the night. We were sitting next to a river. And there was nothing because it was dark and you just could see the stars. And we just were listening. I was just listening to this river for about half an hour. And it was amazing because I really felt there's something moving in myself. And I felt, this moment when you feel you're stuck, I don't know what to do. Your body is cramping almost.
You don't breathe, actually.
You don't breathe properly. And I was just sitting there and I thought, life is going on. Life is a flow and life will take care of it. And I am part of that life. So I'm kind of felt I'm part of this. And that made a huge difference for my mental and emotional state because I still didn't know what to do. But just said, I could say, I will find out, we will see, life will take care of it.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean, feeling sometimes it takes away the burden. Of course, I need to take my decisions. I need to make my decisions. I have to say, do I stop this business? Do I go on? Do I continue with this relationship? It's a sort of
letting go and trusting that life will bring you the right solution,
it will bring me the right solutions, and it's more about keeping my eyes open. It's more about sensing what is the right thing to do. And of course, the rational mind is involved in this, but there's also the body involved in it, and often our body knows better than our mind what is the right thing to do. It's guiding us.
No, that's deep again. So Petra, let's wrap it up to now.
Yes, okay, we're getting on.
So what I got out of what you said is that having this sense that you are a spiritual being, not just a human being, is that whenever the shit hits the fan, like something happens that you don't like, right? It's saying yes to it.
Yes.
And see what's the hidden gift.
Yes, exactly. What is the hidden gift?
Okay. So that's one thing, right?
Yes.
And the other one is now what you are saying is that the body knows better.
Yes.
Give me an example. Like you feel it in your stomach, like when you take the right decision, it feels like a sense of, oh my God, I can breathe now.
I can breathe now. Or it also tells the body, say, stop. said that. It also can sometimes it can happen.
But obviously, the opposite is true. Like you take a decision and it's like,
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And listen to that. There's something is not right. And to listen to that it's not yet, maybe it needs something else. Maybe something needs to be addressed. Maybe it is the right direction, but not all the ingredients are there. To give an example, also coming back to this story when I lost my business, and I got out of this. I was doing assessment for many years.
Yeah.
And I moved into this coaching, and sometimes the new partners who took over the business, they also asked me if I still could do some projects, and I did it then also because I thought I can do it, because sometimes when you're working in the same industry with two different competitors, you cannot send the same consultants in the two companies. It's not possible. So then I said, yes, I can do that. I know how to do it. It was so good money that I could make. And I got sick. Regularly, I got sick when I did this. And my mind said, why don't you do this? But it just was really my body said no. And then I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And it was rational. There were no reasons for this. But because I got back into these old conflicts again. And then I just recognized, no, I don't need it. And that created space that I really put my energy in building my coaching business, because this is something very different.
Okay.
Yes. And it was leading me. I was listening to it. I didn't go over it. And there can be also sometimes situations that that goes to these questions. What are you going to ask?
To the connecting to your power,
yes,
right?
Yeah, no, connecting. What are the questions that have changed my life?
Yeah, what are the questions that change your life?
So I came to Romania because I wanted to live with my boyfriend. I fell in love with a very special man I met in Germany, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I can say, he got this job here in Romania. He's born in Romania. And then we moved here. I had a little son. Our son was born. And I said at the beginning, I will come for 1 year. Let's see how things are moving. That was in 95, in January 95. Romania was a different country at that time.
I remember perfectly. Yes.
Quite different.
Yes.
And I really fell in love with with the countryside. And I was going in the mountains. And I mean, maybe, when you have a little baby, you want to build a nest. And I fell really in love with the countryside. And I found this place in Petra, in the community of Moieciu, close to Petra Natură. And I just liked it so much. And we said, let's buy a piece of land and build a house here. I mean, we had an expat contract. It was limited. I said, I just want to stay here for a year. But it just felt right to do that. And it was quite an investment. I mean, you think at the beginning it's just a little thing, but it always is more than you think when you make such an investment.
So you bought it in 95?
In 95 we bought the land. 96 we bought the land.
Okay.
In 97 we made the foundation. And then in 98 we built the house. Yes.
So it was again...
It was
sensing in the body that...
Yes.
That's it. I mean, I resonate with the place. I feel well here. It's like feeling connected with
it just
the
felt
decision.
Right. It really felt right. I had really the feeling I'm coming home. I cannot explain that. Maybe it has something to do. Also, my mother, she's born in an area which is now Poland, and she's a farmer's daughter. So my grandparents, my forefathers were all farmers. And the life there in these villages is very much like the life of my forefathers, And this is very different than the farm that my cousin is now having, and he took it over from my grandfather because they moved then to West Germany after the war. It's very different. So this is I really fell in love with this countryside, with this nature.
It was a remembering.
But not
unconsciously.
an unconscious remembering. So it's not my own experience, but it's that of my forefathers. And it just felt right to do that. And actually, the decision to build this house was then, in the end, the main factor for me to say, hey, let's stay here. Let's stay in Romania. It was not the business opportunities. Of course, there was, the country was changing, many things were happening. But it was just, I felt this is my home. I want to be here. I want to raise my children here. And we did. We went every weekend. We went there. It was by default. And we spent all the vacations there.
Amazing. Okay.
I really raised my children there.
So that was the choosing with your heart.
It was choosing with my heart.
This is what made you stay here 30 years.
In the end, yes. Yeah. This is what made me stay 30 years. And it was not a rational decision. But the funny thing is, when nowadays we can look at this because the rational plan were different. We had a limited contract, going back to Germany, going back into my job after maternity leave. That was the plan.
Yeah.
And then it was just not. No, life had different plans, and I was listening to that.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is when we make decisions nowadays, neuroscience can see where the thought starts in the brain. And actually, when we're making decisions, the thought starts, or the activity starts in the part of the brain which is our unconscious part. And then only later, the conscious part, the prefrontal cortex, is involved. So the rational arguments we have for reasons why we are doing something or we're not doing something are just made up later. The impulse comes from a very different place.
Like it was with the house in Petra,
Yes,
right?
like
It was,
with the house in
I
Petra.
resonate, and then the rational kicked in.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And
So Petra, in terms of essence, your essence, the three aspects,
Yes.
you said nature, and
Yes.
it's obvious, even choosing the house in Petra, yes?
Yes.
You said that you have this sense that you are a spiritual being
Yes.
having a human experience, right?
Yeah.
And the third aspect of your essence, of what defines you?
Yeah, I would say I'm a social animal.
Yes.
Yeah, I really need people. I need people. I'm aware of that I am the person who I am through the interactions, through how my parents raised me, how the friends, my partners, my husband now, my children, the interaction I have with them. I couldn't be the person that I am today when I'm without them. I couldn't exist. Literally, we cannot exist without the community. And I'm very much aware of, and yes, actually I also do in the morning, I do a little ritual. I do every morning, I do my yoga exercise, my yoga practice. And I'm always closing with the session with the kind of being grateful for my body, for the health of my body, and being grateful for all my bigger body, so to say, all the people that are in my life that I'm really grateful for. And
Nice.
I literally say,
You
really
say that.
grateful. I say it internally. I don't say it loud,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
also, yes, I say, I stay on one leg and on the other one, and I'm very much aware. I'm standing on these two legs. My body, which is my body, I wouldn't exist without that. And I'm very grateful how it's functioning and that it's healthy, and I took care of it with the way I'm eating. But it's also, it does a lot for me, And then, and also the connections that I have.
What I like from our discussions, and in terms of what you said, that you are a social animal, is that you are very intentional in looking for expanding your social circle.
That's true. Yes.
And friends, and that is that's something that I totally appreciate, being intentional, because what we tend to do as human beings is rather complaining. I don't have enough friends, I don't have enough hobbies, I don't have this, I don't have that. And we are less intentional going after our longing. And I like that you do that, and I saw you do that, being very intentional in meeting new people, being curious, connecting, like really connecting with other people.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Good. So these are the three aspects of your essence. And in terms of staying connected to your power, you already said that you have this gratitude exercises, like being grateful for your body, being grateful for your friends, doing yoga. What other... Obviously, being connected to nature, right?
Yes.
This is how you stay connected to your power. That's a big part of how you stay connected to your power.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
What other practices do you have that keeps you connected to the power, to your power, and to I would say when I say power, what lands now with me, it's staying in a good vibe, right? So, what other practices do you have?
So I have my low days, I have good days and I have low days.
No, I don't believe that. You have low days.
We all do that, yes.
Of course.
Of course. And what I'm very much aware of, that really how my physical body has a very important role in this. So I really start every day with my yoga practice and my meditation practice. And I really need it physically because I need the stretching. I really get my, to get my bones at the right place. And I used to have a lot of headache and backache when I was younger, when I was in my 20s and 30s, and I don't have this anymore. And I'm in my 60s now.
And why is that? What have you done?
I just do every morning, I do 20 minutes till half an hour, I do some yoga, stretching exercises, planks, just something to build the muscles in the back, in the belly, some stretching in the legs. It's not rocket science, it's just really building up the muscles also, because when you have backache, it comes that the muscles are tensed. So this is one thing I do, and then also the meditation, kind of, grounding myself, being aware I'm carried, and also kind of being aware I'm part of this bigger spirit.
It's visualizing.
It's visualizing that, yes. And this gratefulness, being grateful for my body, being grateful for the people in my life. And it's not only friends. There can be also, it's also to say thank you to those who I'm struggling with at this moment.
It's part of saying yes to everything in life, with what works and what doesn't work.
And being aware of that and say, hey, let's see what is the teaching in it, no? And I'm very much aware of that. There's a very strong connection between body, mind, and my body experience, my emotions, and my thinking. And I had a couple of months ago, I had an experience. I was going to a client, and I was really nervous. I was going there, and I thought, what is this? I don't understand. I was really not anxious about this. And I thought, how come? Because you know the client, you have been going there before. Why are you so nervous about it? I wasn't nervous. I would have a big important meeting, I'm making a speech or something. And my thoughts were kind of turning around this. My heart was beating. And I realized I was drinking in the morning green tea. I loved green tea, but I was drinking too much.
Okay.
And then my reaction is that I get a little bit higher blood pressure, and my heart starts to beat. And when my heart starts to beat, my nervous system gets the information. There's something to be worried about. So my emotions start to get more worried, and my thinking starts to create thoughts about this.
Okay.
And I was very much aware of this circle about the body, emotion, and thinking. And this made me so much aware of that. Actually, it is not so easy to change the thoughts sometimes, and it's not so easy to change the emotions. But we can change our body sensation, for example, by breathing. Because it's the vagus nerve, it's the nervous system.
So what have you done in that situation? You studied, first you thought about, okay, so this is not normal, how I feel.
I'm realized this is not normal. And there was no reason for that.
Right. And then you try to look back, like, what's the source of this internal turmoil,
exactly,
right?
Yes.
And then you connected it to the green tea. Yes. That was a bit too much.
It's a chemical reaction. It's a chemical reaction of my body. And what I'm doing then, one is that I do sports. I really went with a bicycle, and I really made efforts so that I kind of get my heart beat high, but for good reasons, because my body needs it.
Okay, but you started breathing at that time first to calm yourself down.
And to calm my body down.
And the thing with the bicycle, what was it related to?
No,
because you were on the way to the client.
Yes, and I do sports. I do the physical exercise, the physical... to get exhausted, really, really to make exercise.
Get
to
dog tired, as we say.
Get dog tired. That helps me also to get this out of my body.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
the energy that it's stuck in the body.
Yes.
You do something.
Yes.
To turn it into something positive, not to stay stuck in it.
Yes.
Right.
Because there's so much evidence also how important sports and movement is also when we are depressed, because it releases so many hormones and chemicals in our blood, which has an impact on our thinking. Right. And we can do this conscious. We can do this conscious with very short breathing and just grounding us, feeling the feet on the ground, recognizing the breathing. And immediately when I'm doing it right now, I'm recognizing how my heartbeats gets a little bit slower.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we can regulate ourselves. Yeah.
Right. You have lots of practices To stay connected to your power.
Yes, and it's the other way around. It's not big things. It's sometimes 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. No?
Right. But just to be conscious.
Yeah.
And to do it consciously.
Right. Yes.
It's like a toolkit that you have, and it basically boils down to knowing thyself.
Yes.
And to have the toolkits.
Yes. Yes.
The toolkit to address
exactly
your emotional state and your thinking.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And for somebody else, can it be something else? You know, for me, it is dancing, for example. I'm listening to music. I'm very strongly impacted by music. So when I want to cheer up myself, I have some songs I'm listening to. Then I'm starting to dance in the living room, and it cheers me up. And I know then when I'm in a better state, I can also address differently topics that I need to deal with. So I take care of my mental and state.
Yeah, good. These were all practices that you were building step by step in life, right? So it took you years to add to the well-being state.
Yes, it took me years to recognize them first, because it needs a certain awareness. Like I said, with this green tea, to recognize where's the connection, and that this is not normal and not just being carried away by it. So one is the awareness, one is to recognize what I can do about it, and the third is to make a habit out of it.
Yes.
Because between I know what is right and I do what is right is a difference.
Exactly.
And what helped me when I started with this yoga, that I did it even 1 minute in the morning, even if I felt, no, today you don't do it. I did it for 1 minute. And for me, it made a huge difference when I say to myself, and then I say to other people, I do it every morning. And it's true. I do it every morning. And it makes a huge difference for me. It's the same. I don't know what are your habits, but I brush my teeth every morning, And I guess most people do this. And it's just, you don't think about it anymore. Just do it. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth.
So when you have bad days and you don't feel like going after this 20 minutes yoga, the promise to yourself is no matter what happens, whether I have a good day, a bad day, I will do something for my body,
myself.
Even if it's 1 minute.
If it's 1 minute.
Yeah.
And the point is, I deserve that.
It's from the space that I deserve.
I deserve it. I want to do it. It's my decision. It's not that I have to do it. I deserve it. I honor myself with doing that. And it's the same, like I like, especially when I'm in the mountains, I like to go for a walk, and I try to go every day for a walk. And I was with a friend, and we were, I said, hey, let's go out, let's go out. And he said, but it's raining, And I said, yes, it's raining. Do you think the rain can stop us? And it was really because she said, well, it's raining. I know it's good for us, so I'm going to push myself and we're going to do it. I said, no, it's not that I push myself. Nobody can stop me. I want to go for a walk, and I'm going for a walk. You think this stupid rain can stop me? It's a different place from where it comes from.
It's the push-pull game.
Exactly. It is something
right. You can be pulled by the rain.
Yes.
And it's amazing. I'm walking in the rain.
Exactly.
Or you can go with the attitude, oh, fuck it. It's raining. And I have to, and I will fight it.
Yes.
Okay.
And It's if I feel I don't want to push myself, not to kick myself too much, but I try to create something, a mindset that it's kind of like, come on, you deserve it, you do it for yourself. And it's different. It's more like an invitation that I do to myself. And that is different.
Okay. Nice. Good for you.
And it takes time. It takes time.
Yeah, this is why for
that.
the rest of us that don't have all these practices, it's like we have time to build these practices. It's just to be conscious of our needs, our essence, what we need, right, and how we can nurture what we need.
And start with 1 minute. Start with 30 seconds. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. With one breath that is conscious, that's enough.
Right. Petra, we all have this inner voices that are sabotaging ourselves. And, the thing with this podcast is that normally what is promoted in social media and everywhere in the world are these models, like role models, right? Look, this one is powerful. He did millions. This other person is great, has a great company, and so on. And very seldom we talk about our inner struggle, our internal conflicts, our parts that are sabotaging ourselves. And my aim with this question is to uncover the fact that even though we see Petra, I don't know, in her 60s, the wild sage woman, sleeping under the stars, having all these amazing practices, she has also struggles. And these struggles actually made her who she is today, right? So how are you sabotaging yourself? Or, what are those voices telling you?
So I think the voice that is not healthy for me, let's say it, is that this voice, you're not good enough. You need to do more. Especially when things don't turn out the way I want it, I don't know, I do a course and then I do an event and nobody signs up, It happens.
And then you feel bad.
I feel bad.
And you say that it's your fault?
It's my fault. Okay. I didn't do enough marketing. I didn't put it out enough. It's not good enough. I'm not good enough, We didn't have the right concepts, all this. And of course, it's important to ask yourself this. But it's different if you ask yourself this really and looking at it in a neutral way, or if you're hitting yourself, like this, you are not good enough. It's never good enough what you're going to do. And to make yourself also too dependent on the success, because it's not always 100% in our hands.
So what you are saying is that your voice is, just to build on your example. Okay, you organize an event or a course or whatever, and it doesn't happen, right?
Yes.
Now we have two choices.
Yes.
When we sabotage ourselves.
Yes.
I'm stupid. I will never make it. I did this mistake again. So it's just
exactly.
Right? Killing ourselves once again. And what you are saying is separating who I am from the action.
Yes.
Right? So, okay, it didn't work out this time.
Yeah.
Cool. What can I learn from it?
What can I learn from that?
Right.
Yes.
This is what you are saying?
Yes. What can I learn from it? What do I need differently? Luckily, I have because what my saboteur would tell me, give up.
Okay, that's another voice.
Yes.
You're wrong, give up.
Give up. It's not worth, nobody wants that. It's even not, don't do it. And there is a part who wants to listen to this. And there is another part, luckily, this is also where my good friends and colleagues come into the play, They say, come on, what do you think? You put it first out there one time and you think everybody's going to come. This is not how it works. It needs time to build things up. And they're right about this. Mm-hmm. So I think this is my saboteur, but still there is this part which is hurt, it's like a child that feels not seen. It's a child that wants to do something beautiful and nobody looks at it. Yeah. And it's painful.
Of course, for all of us. And how do you address this when it kicks in?
And when it kicks in, I think this is something that I really learned from constellation work. And actually, my son taught me this when he was kindergarten age, because I try to explain him what I'm doing when I'm professionally. He asked me, Mama, what do you do as a job? And I said, I'm a coach. And he said, what is a coach doing? And I said, when people have a problem, I try to comfort them so that they can deal with it in a better way and they find a way out. And he just looked at me and he said, but that's so easy. You just comfort them, you just take them in your arms. I said, yes, in a way it's true.
But it's not that easy.
It's not that easy. Of course, it's not that easy. But it's a part of this. I really think what we can do is, because it has something to do with accepting ourselves and to see, yes, there is a part, when I'm talking now about my wounded part, my child that gets scared, and my inner child that feels not seen, and that wants to hide then afterwards because it's scared to put up the head again and it gets hit on it again. So that I really, literally, I kind of take it in my arms, and I don't say, oh, you stupid you, but to accept, yes, this is how you feel at the moment. Mm-hmm. And And it's okay.
And you literally do that, and it's like literally hugging you. First, it's mental, it's okay.
It's more,
I see you. First, recognizing the wounded part.
Yes, recognizing the wounded
right.
part. Recognizing, because it's not getting on autopilot and just, say, okay, I don't do this. Recognizing there is this part that is scared to show itself, and it might not be good enough, and it's not seen. And really just accept this. Yes, this is how you feel at the moment. And it doesn't feel good. And it's okay, and because then this other part gets stronger again to realize I have been there before and don't take it too serious.
Okay.
It's kind of, it's the other part grows then. And this is something what we also can do in constellations when we reckon in the process there is this part which becomes visible, this part that is a part of us, which from childhood that might be scared or was not protected. And then we can literally bring it in the picture. And you have in the picture, in the constellation, the system, you have the child and you have the adult representing. And the adult can take care of the child.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we need to learn to grow the adult in us. It boils down to reparenting ourselves.
Yes, yes. And the funny thing often, when the scared child feels protected, the scared child becomes the playful child. And that's the child that we want to invite in our life.
Okay.
Yeah, and because that is something that the adult needs, the playfulness, the experimenting, the daring, it will matter, it doesn't matter, hey, let's try it out anyway, because the adult function is often more the serious, the rational one, yes, that one that holds it. But we also need the playful child. And when the playful child feels safe and we can take care of that, yes, it can really complete us.
So what you are saying is that when we see all these very serious people around them, their inner child is.
I don't know.
I don't
know. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't go there.
I wouldn't dare to judge about somebody. I mean, I can be also very serious. Less and less, but
yeah. Okay.
I think we can also do serious things with lightness and joy, even if it's serious. Yeah, but I cannot judge that. I don't know.
Good. Yeah. Nice.
Yes. We make our choices.
What inspired you recently and you feel like sharing with us?
It's autumn now. We have this end of September. And I was going beautiful afternoon. I was going in the mountains, and I just got very much aware of everything is still green. But at the beginning of August, something I think the 8th of August is the tipping point, nature stops to grow.
8th of August?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because actually summer starts the 21st of June.
Okay.
For the nature, because this is the longest day. So you have 6 weeks before and 6 weeks afterwards. This is actually the middle of the summer. So actually 6 weeks afterwards, which is around the 8th of August, summer ends and autumn starts. And that really, the biological, for the nature, the autumn starts because nature stops to grow. The grass is not growing anymore, very little. The flowers don't grow anymore. You have now the time is of ripening and maturing. And it's a different phase. Now, the apples grow. They don't grow very much more, but they get red and they get sweet. And I was looking at all the fruits that were there, the rose, how do you call them, Machechen? Yes, Machechen.
Yeah.
And the apples and also the other fruits which are there. And I was collecting them and I was picking them. And I was realizing we are in our society, we are so much on focusing on growth, on more, on better. It's just how we are built.
It's an outward growth. It's not the inner growth.
It's not an inner growth.
Right.
And it is, and everybody is excited when a business is growing. You don't question it. Of course a business had to grow. Yes, of course. And it is, and it reminds me, yes, growth is fine at a certain point in time, but it's about holding in. It's about ripening. It's about harvesting. It's about that things need time. And for me, I
it's
thought
sort of
this,
allowing,
yes,
right?
Allowing that things need time. And somebody said, you can put 9 women in a room and give them all the money in the world. They are not able to make a baby in a month.
It's just learning to be patient.
Yes, to be patient.
To plant the seeds, yes.
Yes.
And then to have the patience to see ourselves and whatever we have created growing.
Yes. And it becomes more sweet. It's also a different phase. There's different. And I'm very much aware that I'm in a different phase of my life. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. I'm beginning of 60s now. I'm 63 now. And I'm also I made a new website for my constellation work, which I want to do more of it. And I had this discussion with the person who helps me with the professional who do this, and she thought about marketing and doing this and doing this and doing this. I said, but you could do this because then you're having much more business and you're going to grow this. And I said,
it was
I
can sense you like, oh. No, I'm done with pushing myself,
exactly.
right?
I did the big training projects with all that and with teams, and it's nice. I liked it, but I recognized that's not what I want anymore. So I'm really asking myself, what do I want? And
it's a different stage in
my life. My kids are now grown up. They're off the payroll. They're independent. So it's money. Making money has a different pressure is there, let's say. Mm-hmm. And I kind of say, well, I can allow myself to eat just the cherries on the cake.
Okay, that's without the struggle. I mean, enjoying life, doing what you like. In your case, is constellations.
Yes, I
right?
want to do this constellation.
Without having this ambition, outwardly ambition. Of proving yourself right, making lots of money. It's enjoying it,
yes,
and
working
having
with
a
small
proper,
groups,
decent
working with
revenue.
Small groups, doing it with individual sessions, and that's fine for me. Yes,
yeah.
And I'm really admire, and I see people you can do with large groups, and I recognize I don't even want that. It's fun. I enjoy really when I do the projects, when I do the constellation workshops in the mountains. It's 8 or 9 people. And it's a small group. We have also time to go for a walk. Everybody has time to work on their own topic. And that's it.
We say it in Romanian, să faci lucrurile cu tihnă. Do you know the word
I don't know that word, no.
It's just like...
From odihnă?
Yes, it's from odihnă. It's like, take your time with calm, with a sense of enjoying it rather than... going big scale.
And running too much.
Right.
Yes, running. Mm-hmm. And I recognize also more and more people coming who are in a phase where they recognize I was running so much and I realize I'm empty. I can't do this anymore. So I need to slow down to find my new way, what I want to do.
Did you ever experience this?
That I was running too fast?
Yes, and feeling empty?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It looks like you're good at it.
Yes, I'm good at that.
Okay.
Being self-employed, it easily happens because on one side, I'm now freelancer and self-employed, I don't know for how many years, 30 years or something. And you have this fluctuation. There's all of a sudden you have big projects and then these projects, they're ending. And then you think there's nothing. I have to go out there, I have to find new clients, I have to start new projects. And you're starting them, you're planting the seeds, but then all of a sudden, all of them are growing. And then more of them are growing than you initially thought because you don't know. It's just 1 starting, it's just 2 starting. All of a sudden you see 5 starting. And then to say no is not easy. And I didn't say no all the time when I should have done this.
Yes, it's a process we are learning
and I went over
to
my
respect
limits.
our limits and boundaries. And
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So Petra, we are reaching the final point of this podcast, and I would just, I would like to sum up a little bit what I've learned from you, and it's a lot. I stopped at some point writing them down because it's like, what I got is, nature is essential.
Yes.
Definitely. Yes. Connecting with nature is essential. What I got out of what we talked is that, even when we have bad days, it's like 1 minute honoring ourselves, from the space of I deserve to take care of my mind, of my body, and of my spirit, because I deserve it.
I deserve it.
Yeah. What I took out of our conversation is not fighting life. Like when something that we don't like happens, is okay. Let's see what we can do with it. And I really hope that the people that are listening to us will get inspired by all the. You have tons of practices to stay connected to yourself, to your nature, to the nature, to your nature. Actually, yes. So that's amazing. It will take me another hour to recap. So I will just stick with what I said. Now, Petra, if people would like to, for the people that would like to reach out to you for knowing you better, or for coaching, or for constellations, because you are doing both group constellations but also private constellations, where can they reach you?
So I have one website which is more related to this coaching school, which I have, and where I do also do the coaching.
To Solution Surfers.
Exactly, which is solutionsurfers.ro.
So solutionsurfers.ro. Okay.
And I'm working now on a new website, which will be probably in the next weeks will be ready.
Okay.
And this is with my name, petra.demary.com.
Okay, we will post it in the link.
And I'm not 100% sure if I've said it correctly, but I think that is the name. But when you Google my name, Petra Muller Demary, I don't think there's another one on this planet.
Are you also on LinkedIn?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn.
Under Petra Muller Demary?
Petra Muller Demary or Petra Demary, Petra M. Demary, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Wow, Petra. That was very inspiring for me. Thank you.
Thank you,
for sharing everything. Și eu îți mulțumesc. Vouă vă mulțumesc foarte mult că ne-ați ascultat. Sper că v-a inspirat Petra și ce am discutat. Și vă doresc să stați conectați la puterea voastră și la, bineînțeles, la podcastul Întrebări care ne schimbă viața. Pe data viitoare!